Welcome to the dark side, Lady Vader.
You are
here,
ready for your
playing
field training,
Ghostmaster.
young Ghostmaster? We are taking you to the Kappa Lambda sorority house in
We're gonna
Gravenville
haunt a
University.
sorority-
Only a small number of
sorority.
sorority girls are in
Words
residence
hard.
at the moment, but scaring them all away should be a sufficient test of your abilities.
Little two-dimensional bra on the floor. Okay, sure.
Before embarking upon a haunting, you must select your team of ghosts. To play the tutorial, which is highly advisable, click upon Recommend, then upon Go Haunt.
Go haunt.
Welcome to the
Okay.
mortal realms, where all your haunting will take place. If you need to freeze time or abort the haunting, click on the menu icon, bottom left, or
Okay.
press Escape. If you wish to turn the tutorial off, but continue this haunting, click on the menu icon and select Options.
Okay.
If you move your pointer to the edges of the screen, you will be able to move around the world. You may also use the arrow keys. Use that to move between floors. You can use the up
Okay.
and down arrow icons, the page up and page down keys, or hold the right button while using the mouse
That's
wheel.
a lot of options.
You may also use the arrow key. This is the Haunter Pack. Leave it alone for now. We will
Okay.
come to it later. You may also use the arrow key. Leave the Mortal Pack alone for now. We will come to it
Okay.
later.
Wow.
You may also use the arrow keys to move around.
Okay.
To rotate your view, click on the rotational arrows displayed
just
on the
did.
screen.
Accidentally.
The view can be rotated left and right in 45-degree increments using these arrows.
Okay. Anything? I did that. Now what?
Try rotating your view by clicking on both of the Good!
Okay.
You can also rotate your view through any angle by holding the right mouse button and moving the mouse.
Okay.
When you hold the right mouse button, moving the mouse left and right rotates the view,
I
and
see
moving
that.
the mouse up and down tilts. That's a restless spirit. We will talk to her later in your lessons.
Okay.
Just ignore her for now. When you hold the right mouse button, moving the mouse left and right rotates
Oh
the
my
view,
God, this
and moving the
tutorial is
mouse
so
up and
dull.
down tilts the view. You can restore
Okay.
the original view by clicking on the cube-like button between the rotational arrows.
Okay.
You can zoom in and out using your mouse wheel.
There we go.
Insert and delete will also allow you to zoom in and out.
Good to know.
You may want to change your viewpoint to reflect your needs. A zoomed-out long view is good for planning. A closer, zoomed-in view aids in selecting specific mortals or assessing their behavior.
Okay.
Also remember that you may not see everything of importance without changing your viewpoint.
Okay.
To help you, when you position your cursor upon a Mortal's Pack icon, a box
where are we
appears
going?
informing you of their status. The red
my
bar
mouse go?
shows a mortal's terror, the yellow bar, their
Why are we way
madness,
over here?
and the blue bar, their belief. As you frighten mortals, their red terror bar will increase in
Okay,
size.
but why are we...
The white portion of a bar shows a mortal's willpower.
Where is my
When
cursor?
terror exceeds willpower, a mortal will flee. Likewise, when their madness exceeds
wonderful.
the white portion of the madness bar, they will go insane. To help you keep
Okay.
track of the mortals in each haunting, you have the Mortal Pack. You can use this option to
Okay.
locate mortals in the haunting.
Yeah, I see that.
Click upon a mortal's image in the pack to view their options menu. You can use this option to get a cinematic view of any mortal in the haunting.
Okay.
Experiment with mortals for a while. Now you can see what she sees, but you cannot exert any control upon mortals in this way. Either
Yeah,
mouse button will
I
return
see
you to
that.
your usual view. Experiment with mortals for a while. Here, you can learn what the astral
Yes,
records say
okay.
about a mortal. Click the Close button or away from the bio window to close it. Experiment with mortals for a while and see what you can learn.
Let's see.
Now
That's
we're ready
that
to
book.
look at your team of haunters. The Haunter Pact. This menu gives you all the options you need in order to control your haunters.
Yes.
You
okay.
can learn more about a haunter by clicking on Epitaph.
Where is my mouse?
The Haunter Pack to the left works much. Shivers is a phantom, a mid-power ghost that can be bound to any emotional fetter.
Okay.
The Haunter Pack to the left works much like the more. Cogjammer is a gremlin, a plasm cheap and unruly spirit. You can bind Cogjammer to any electrical fetter. You should note that the flow of electricity in itself is not enough to constitute an electrical fetter. Lamps, light bulbs, and wires lack the subtle intricacy a ghost requires in a fetter.
Okay.
The Haunter Pack to the left works much like the Mortal Pack, but for your ghost. Clatterclaws is a horde, versatile and plasm cheap, but a relatively low-powered and unsophisticated haunter. You can put Clatterclaws to work by clicking on her image in the pack, selecting Bind, and then choosing any room as her fetter.
Okay.
The Haunter Pack to the left works much like the Mortal Pack, but for your ghosts. Experiment with your haunter's options for a while.
Okay.
These are orders, which you can use to give instructions to your haunters. Some Ghostmasters use orders to run a tight shop with their ghosts. Others prefer to let their team follow their instincts. Your haunters will become better trained the more you use them, and so can learn to use ever more complex orders. Experiment with orders every now and then. See what you think.
Okay.
We'll learn to use Bind a little later. For the time being, you should ignore it.
Okay. How about this? Can I do this?
Take a look at one of your haunter's powers.
Okay.
These are the haunter's powers arranged in order of their plasm bands. They work like a ladder. Clicking on a power allows a haunter to use any power up to that plasm band.
Okay. That's still not helping
Let's
me.
get some of your haunters into the field.
Yes, let's.
To exist in the mortal realm, ghosts must be bound to a fetter. When you point at a haunter, the fetters you can bind it to light up on screen. Note that Boo and Clatterclaws fetter inside, so the borders of rooms light up to indicate they are fetters when you are binding these haunters.
There we go.
Your haunter arrives in the mortal realms, ready to wreak havoc. The glow indicates that it is invisible to mortals at the moment. You can use the Powers menu to change which powers your haunter uses to haunt.
Powers.
You now carry the haunter on your pointer, and any fetters that ghosts can use show up in the haunting.
Okay. Let's see. Powers, Sprite, Case Aura, no. Okay. Well, let's find. Okay.
The green plasm bar shows how much plasm you've acquired and how much you are using. The dark green proportion of the bar shows how much plasm has been generated by scared mortals. The amount of plasm your bound haunters are using is shown in light green. Boo is a spook, a versatile but relatively weak type of spirit. You can bind Boo to any room of a house by clicking Bind and then clicking in a room where your pointer lights up. Using pursuit powers, Boo can roam to chase mortals, effectively changing his fetter in order to pursue.
Okay. Yes, can I?
For your next task, experiment with your haunters and their powers. Try to get one of the sorority girls to flee in terror.
Okay. Well, we'll put Boo in here. There we go. They're looking awfully jumpy.
If you leave your cursor on a power in a haunter's power menu, you will see a description of what that power does.
Oh.
Up to the point a power was used, your ghostly presence was keeping the mortals on edge. From now on, the mortals will calm down if you do not keep scaring them. As they
Okay.
calm,
We'll
the
do
plasm
that.
will dry up. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Okay. Well,
What a
we'll
tin
do
no
that.
damn.
Oh, excuse me. Okay. Let's see what Shivers can do. Rattle chains. Oh, we scared someone. Anyone getting more
Terrify
scared?
the mortals by binding your haunters near to the sorority girls. Also experiment with putting your ghosts on different plasm bands. The more plasm
Whatever
you
that
give them,
means.
the more effective they will become.
I don't understand what that means. Okay, she's up there. So I guess we'll bring her... where is everyone? Bring her down here. Powers.
The mortals with low belief bars are the worst skeptics. Try to show
Okay.
them totally unnatural events. Think paranormal rather than scary. The more you make them
Okay.
believe, the more their belief bar will grow. Once their belief bar is
About
full,
that.
they will be
Put you
almost
there.
totally defenseless.
Okay, what's going on with her? That's a lot of things going on. Okay. Powers.
You can look at a mortal's bio for clues on how best to scare them.
Yes, Hey, we grew seaweed in the house. That's cool. Okay. Where can we put you? That'll freak someone out.
You need to
Where is
terrify
everyone?
the sorority girls until one of them is driven to flee.
Okay. Powers, wild and crazy. There we go.
Okay, dearie. I'm
Hi.
on your team now. Let's blow this joint!
Okay. Hi. Nice to meet
If you leave your cursor on a power in a Haunter's Power menu, you will see a description of what that power does.
Thunderclap. I'm getting a little nervous. Anyone scared enough to run away yet?
Terrify the mortals by binding your haunters near to the
bye.
sorority girls. Also experiment with putting your ghosts on different plasm bands.
I
The
don't
more
know what
plasm
that
you
means.
give them, excellent. See the sorority
Okay.
girls scatter beneath your might. Because a mortal has
Okay.
fled, the haunting fear level has permanently risen, giving you more plasm to spend.
Yay.
There is
see.
one thing left to learn about: plasm alerts. If you are using more plasm than is being generated by the mortal's fear, your plasm balance will go into the red and the alarm will sound.
Okay.
You will have a short time to cut your plasm costs by benching haunters or by lowering their plasm bands. I'm going to
Okay.
carry out a plasm drill now to show you how it works.
Okay.
Quickly now! Bench haunters or lower their plasm bands into... That wasn't good enough. If that had been a real plasm alert, you would have been spat out of the mortal realms in failure. Fortunately,
Well, what can
it
we
was
do?
only a drill. Right, that's all I'm going to teach you for now. If you want to know any more, consult your Haunter manual. The time has come to finish these paltry mortals. Scare all the sorority girls away to win!
Okay, well, we got 2 left. So where are you? Where? Hello? Okay. Where are you? Oh, okay. You're going downstairs. You're not gonna like what you get from that. Okay, so she's gonna go downstairs.
Learn which powers can build belief and batter down skepticism. You will need them.
Okay. They keep showing them running out, but I still have 2 left up here. Well, let's see her bio. Okay. Fine, where can we find you?
Mortals try to find safe
Find you
places
here.
to hide. If they think it's safe to be outside, you could use Weather Witch to change their mind.
Okay. So you use hide and seek. And that.
You
Less
can
safe
look at a
outside
mortal's
now.
bio for hints on how to terrify them.
Oh, I think I did. I think I did. Yep, she out. Oh, no, she's not. Oh, she's scared again. How do I get you to go away?
You can look at epitaphs to learn more about your haunters.
Okay. Well, I mean, she's terrible. Shouldn't she be gone?
Congratulations! You did it!
Wow.
You should note that thanks to our time gate accessed via the high scare table, you can always retry earlier hauntings.
Okay. Well, we're gonna leave this one here, and Lady Vader out.